All right. Happy Turn-Based Thursday. Thursday comes on wait, it really is Turn-Based Thursday. Yeah, I've been making that bad joke all week. Been having a lot of fun with the fact that Turn-Based Thursday started on a Monday and is running until a Monday. But hey, it is a great festival. I love all the games that are part of it. I especially love Emperor of the Fading Sun is a big part of it. But yeah, there are a lot of other really good games in it. Love turn-based gaming. Obviously, that's most of what HDI's games have been. So, love them, love them. Let me know if the music is too loud or too quiet. I'm trying some different things with the audio. So please let me know in the chat if you cannot hear the music at all, or if the music's too loud, or if it's just right, or what have you. I can hear my own voice, so I apologize for that you can hear my own voice too, but you're here. So we all get to hear my voice today. So, today, I am wearing Saint Mantius. Saint Mantius was one of the prophet's disciples. Took a bullet for him. Is the classic story from the Hazat. So lots of relevance for this story for what we're doing today in the game. As you know, we're fighting on Aragon before. Mantius was known for being an especially violent soldier before his conversion at the hands of the prophet. And the prophet toned that down so that he would kill and maim no more. And in fact, it was a Hazat lord on Aragon, we are right now, who tried to assassinate Zebulon, because Zebulon had condemned that Hazat's actions. And Mantius jumped in front of him, and the bullets went back to the Hazat firearms. This is the miracle of the bullets, and it led to the Hazat conversion, though apparently they have been backsliding. That's what we're dealing with on Aragon right now. He created the Mantok martial arts discipline. And there are no real stories about how he died, which is different for the saints. So there are those who like to think he's still around. Maybe he's on pyre with the Avestites. And his flux sword, Manjusri, is a holy relic lost on Absolution. So if we go to Absolution in this game, we'll have to go to the ruins. We find symbiotes there. I think we're going to find that flux sword. So we should try that out. All right. And if you have a favorite sect you like to play in the game, please do go ahead and jot it down in the chat. Hey, DJ's Outdoor Adventures. I've always loved to play the Hazat. About 90% of my games are that house. I gotta admit, I've got a lot of fun with them. They're the best one to play test. I think I've mentioned before how one of our difficulty levels was the way that the houses are laid out on the start screen. Lihalan, we meant them to be particularly easy. And of course, Al Malik were gonna be the hardest to play. It was a little bit of a balancing act. But the Hazat are a lot of fun to play in this game. There is no denying. And as we're seeing, they're a lot of fun to go after. That was an unprovoked attack, says Lazarus. We are now at war. Well, you should have followed the right way. So I did promise we'll talk a little bit about the Fading Sun's lore. So of course, I hope you all have enjoyed this rulebook from Ulysses Spiel, not an HDI book, Ulysses Spiel book. And they've got the basics of it covered, of course. And they say, Temple of Avesti. Even the Orthodoxy views these fanatics as too rigid in their interpretation of the prophet's teachings. Ha! I say, as Prince Shikau. And there is no, what's the Barry Goldwater quote? Fanaticism in the defense of, we'll say, fanaticism in spreading the flame is no crime. The Avestites seek to purge sin from the universe with cleansing fire. The Temple of Avesti preach a rigorous life of discipline and penance. That's something I haven't talked about enough in this one. As the best means to reflect the light of the holy flame. An Avestite character might be a zealous inquisitor, a traveling missionary, or a dogged bounty hunter. And indeed, it is that idea of penance. Making up for the misdeeds of you, your community, your family. Prince Shikau was already attuned toward the Avestite way when she discovered the rod of holy smiting in a ruin. And that was when she saw that it was her duty to take on not only her own sins, not only the sins of her family, not only the sins of her entire house. And there are a lot of sins in the Lihalan past, but of all humanity, to reclaim it with her actions, and that's what's happening now. And indeed, she is ensuring that the Hazat are doing penance right now on Aragon as she charges forward. We have this great book as well, Priest of the Celestial Sun. And yeah, sorry, but using my Suck It Up sticker as a bookmark. Best in Georgia game, really good game. Check it out on Steam. Not a turn-based game. Temple of Avesti, they talk about its history going back to the Diaspora. So there's several periods before these Emperor Wars in human history. You have, of course, the era we are in now. Then you have the First Republic, when humanity unites to reach the stars. Of course, they're not at all united. You've got these massive corporatists controlling everything around it, using their political puppets to maintain control of humanity. But as they spread out to the stars, they start losing that power. And the Sothorists are a special bane to the First Republic, breaking up the control the corporatists have over humanity. Then you have the Diaspora. As the First Republic falls, humanity floods through the jump gates, finding all these new routes. The jump gates seem to just sparkle with new codes, new places humanity can go. It's never before has humanity seen this many jump routes open to them, and they flew everywhere. And we think a lot of these have just disappeared. The jump route then closed, and nobody else had the keys, but a lot of them stayed, and that led over time to the Second Republic. And its fall leads, of course, to the Dark Ages, and Vladimir is the one beginning to bring us out of the Dark Ages. We talk about Temple of Avesti actually starting during the Diaspora. The first historic precedents of the Temple of Avesti can be found in the Vestic Bonfire, a midwinter celebration practiced among rural communities of the Diasporan period. So remember, when humanity goes out into the stars, yeah, they have spaceships, they got a lot of advanced technology. But it's not a huge number of people, and they're not bringing factories with them. They didn't have replicators. This isn't Star Trek. They have 3D printers and the like. But these are small groups on planets. They don't have all of the equipment of a whole world. This is a few hundred people on some of these planets. And it really is that tight-knit community that is required for survival. And there are a number of planets, of course, where humanity did not survive. The Vestic ritual in its earliest version was informal and spontaneous. A large fire was built in the village square upon the day of the winter solstice, or its nearest equivalent for more exotic star systems, and every person in the village and surrounding areas would come together to eat, drink, sing, and dance, sharing with communal warmth and light through the coldest and longest night of the year. So you ask, why is this celebration what has led to the Avestite, the stern Avestite today? In fact, there's a thinking that there's the old Middle Earthish suffix fest, which denotes the festival, is actually the word that leads to vestic, as Earthish itself changed over time. And in Old Earthish as well, you had the root vestment and investiture, and to avest, meaning to rid oneself of that which impedes spiritual progress. So there was a spiritual element to dancing in front of the flames on alien worlds. And out of this, we think the very beginning, there was the guilt of it perhaps, that this temple might have existed even before the prophet, but really we don't see the formation until after the death of the prophet, when it really comes into being, comes into its main growth. Flame is kindled in the summer 3500, years given to the date of the founding of the Second Republic. Strange lights were seen in the sky over Pyre's largest continent. Pyre is the Avestite main world that we hope to visit in this game. And again, yes, I'm supposed to be streaming on Steam, and I'm surprised that I'm not. And it's an interesting battle to try and get it going over there. Still don't know what's been going on with that, so I'll be checking over there again, trying to make that happen. All right. So, the flame is kindled. So we have Patroclus is the founder of it in that era, though there are those who trace it back, especially on Pyre, further back to the Diaspora. So there aren't a lot of scholars in the Temple of Avesti, so they don't like to really talk about it being maybe something from before the prophet. And They have a lot of strong beliefs. The furnace of faith. I mean, it's not just a light within us. There's a fire in the Avestite way. Team Malik Imperialis. Steam has been giving me issues. Yeah, but somehow it keeps showing up late in the Steam. It starts streaming late on Steam, and I don't know why. I couldn't even track that one down. We'll give it one more try on Sunday. Appreciate everyone joining me at this crazy hour. It's 9 p.m. Eastern, 9:10 p.m. So I've been trying to move around the times for these streams to capture a lot of different groups on Steam. But, of course, the Steam streams haven't really hit like we wanted it to hit. So, which is sad, because when we get Steam streams, we can get hundreds and thousands of viewers to pick up the game, get you lots of people to play against. And Imperialis has been doing some awesome streams of his own. So, if you haven't checked out the Imperialis streams, please do. Those are great tutorial series. Great fun all around. So there are a lot of elements of the main orthodoxy, like confession, which are key. The church understands that people sin, but they want people to deal with that sin and to take appropriate actions in that regard. So the Avestite order places an even greater weight on making up for it with, of course, penance. And that can be physical. And there are those who will flay their own skin for their believed misdeeds or that of other people. And of course, they love to be the inquisitors. Not all inquisitors are Avestites, but yeah, there are plenty of them who are. So that whole idea of penance is important. And there are more extreme levels of it. I mean, ethics obviously are very key for them. So their definition of ethics is a pretty violent one at times. This celibacy is not usually a part of the church. The church does not hold to celibacy. After all, this is made in humanity's rise to the stars, and there are all sorts of ways to have children at that point where they're well beyond just test tube babies and natural procreation. And so the whole idea of celibacy stops being as big a thing at that period. But the Avestites do throw back to it. Obedience is key. Absolute obedience is required of all Avestai at all times and all manners. Propriety is key. Exemplars of moral rectitude. Humility. And of course, to dress simply. So, quick overview. Hey, Caleb. Thanks for your continued development of EFS. I bought 4 additional copies. Yeah, love that. And remember, if you buy copies on GOG or Steam, you can play the saved games on both. I'm using multiplayer games between Steam, GOG, and Zoom platforms. So I've been moving back and forth with my games. This game itself started on GOG, and we're now doing it on Steam. So you can play it in many ways. So Caleb, I appreciate the support. Hope you're having a good time in our Discord. All right, Lazarus says that was an unprovoked attack. It was not. You tried to impede Imperial investigations, and therefore, House Leolan, we're not House Avesti. Avesti is a sect. We had to move in to keep you from impeding that Imperial investigation. Yes, Leolan has started an war. A bunch of House Hazat nobles have been assassinated. I got attacked by a really powerful rebel stack on Midian. Took out my arboreum, which I need because I'm getting low on food. I sent myself this message. Rebel arboreum on Midian. That was to remind me they took that. Hazat investigation underway. Hazat fleet over Chernobog. That's right. I'm glad I reminded myself of that. We're still trying to deal with their fleet. We've got our fleet here, but we believe they've got a fleet there. We might move to engage with them. Gonna see if they jump to us this time. So yeah, Aragon, we've taken the palace, we've taken a lot of their key city. I should have the map of Azad here. It's why the Catholics say no one but the Orthodox are cool with it. Here you go. Imperialist, big reason the church went the celibacy route is to prevent nepotism through inheritance. Why the Catholics say no, but the Orthodox are cool with it. Yeah, so, yeah. It is interesting looking at celibacy in human religions. Yeah, it's not unique to the Catholics, and certainly it was an interesting fight in the early Christian church. The Nicene Credo, I mean, there's a lot of the discussions there. I mean, that's not key to it, but it is an interesting part of the discussion. You had all these married priests at the time. So it is an interesting topic in and of itself. But again, celibacy is not a major thing in the Fading Suns universe. And of course, there are people who fear that in the official timeline that people have gotten a hold of Alexius's DNA and seed and are making clones and new versions of Alexius, which of course Alexius denies and the Imperial Eye seeks to stamp out. All right, so so this is where we are in Aragon. These are all Imperial Eye forces. Mine are in the city, so the Imperial Eye owns the shield. I was expecting the Hazat to have moved against it already, and they haven't. Part of why I haven't been killing this factory is I was hoping they'd take that shield back so I can take it back from them. But we'll do it when we get the chance. Hey, Imperialists, I teach medieval and early modern history. Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, as some of you know, one of my degrees is history, and I love the topic. The stories are just tremendous. History really is a series of amazing stories that teach us a huge amount, not just about the world today, but who we are and where things might go if we are careful and if we aren't careful. So love hearing that. And I hope you've been enjoying Fading Suns reflections on medieval history, because this comes after we'd done the Machiavelli the Prince game, which of course is our deep dive into Renaissance era. And it was fun going beyond Europe for that. I'm a big fan. There's a series of books I absolutely loved. Read them all, which is a hard feat. The History of Western Civilization by Will and Ariel Durant. And games like Machiavelli allow us, a lot of us here in the U.S. have mainly studied Western civilization. And games like Machiavelli let us go way beyond that, because of course it was a world-spanning game. It didn't span North America, South America, but the rest of the world it did. Taught us a lot along the way. Hey, Hacky makes games and stuff. Thanks for hosting. Always nice to see my fellow Georgians are working on. Always super inspirational. Very cool. Glad you are here as well. Do realize we got a meeting June 10th in Decatur. Art in games and comics. We're going to have a bunch of good artists out there. Some good games being shown off, like Crestala. And we're going to be doing art portfolio reviews. So make sure to join us. It's up on the GGDA website. Let me put that in here. www.ggda.org. And if any of you are not subscribed to this channel, we're only 5 away from 5,000. So please do subscribe. All right. So let's get ready for the next turn. Let's see if the Hazat come to us or if I've got to come to them. Here we go.
House Li Halan.
Chikao turn. All right. Research of SRAM steel has been completed. That's good. Let's keep researching cyclotron. We need those monopoles. I know we are the group that most fears technology, but for the good of humanity. For the good of humanity. All right. Engineer on Kish. We'll come back to this and decide if we want to do anything more over here. Electronics has a militia legion. Back. Yeah, we're starting to go low on food. Losing that Aborium really hurt us. Got a tank killer on Kish. I think it's time for some bigger planes. Actually, let's do a dive bomber all around. A strategic bomber? Let's do a dive bomber. Militia Legion on Kish. My starport. Another engineer on Kish. Another engineer on Kish. Another engineer on Kish. Got a lot of engineers popping up. Bought a lot of metal that turn. That year was a good year for growing metal out in the fields. Militia Legion on Kish. Hey, Hockey, that's right up my alley. I was a freelance illustrator before getting into tech. Funny enough, that's something I may have to look into. How much it's free to attend. We're merging I'm sorry, not merging. We're doing this event with Create ATL, and they're a bunch of comic creators and cosplayers and so forth. So they're interested in game art. We know a lot of our game artists are interested in comic book art, so it's a good chance to bring everyone together to share tips and secrets, look at comics, and play games. Which is something we've all loved since childhood, but it's even more interesting when you're the ones making the comics and the games to get together and share the stuff. So many more insights to do. So, yeah. Trying to decide if Cyclops could punch out the Thing was always good discussions on comics, too. All right, your chemicals. Finished producing Militia Legion. Yeah, so definitely come on out. And in fact, we also have another event July 2nd in Atlanta. We'll be doing another indie game. We're supporting an indie game fest. Our friend Avant Beetle is putting on. Does some great game art stuff. Wow, definitely attend. Cool. And make sure you subscribe to this channel, though you probably are since you popped up in the YouTube. Mine finished producing a Militia Legion here. This is on Icon, which is a rebel-held planet. And we were particularly worried they're going to be coming after us soon, so we need to start building some defenses. So, some artillery. All right, we're going to have to figure out what to do here on Aragon. Put in those militia, which are the base level of defense. We're going to need to start getting more offensive here. And I need to take a factory to start building myself a transport to get to other parts of this island. Keep building those infantry. Actually, I want a tracker legion, don't I? Let's do a tracker legion. That infantry is helpful. Yeah, I've turned the fort into my palace with their vote scepters. Chemicals, Militia Legion. Militia Legion in the hospital. Okay, on Midian, we're finally going to take that battle to the rebels on this panel. There's a rebel noble I don't think we can capture. We really want to. We're going to try. Militia Legion on Midian. Whoa! Mistake. They'd not built a big enough spy stack. They came after us on Byzantium Secundus. I had not been building defenses like I need. I need to build some infantry there, but he needed a much bigger stack to win that fight. We're still pretty lucky. All right. Nikolai, you are my best ally. I'll sell you the electron microscopes technology. All right, so that was a deadly fight. We should look really quickly on Byzantium. Sorry, Byzantium's down here. Yeah, we're doing random map. That's why it looks so different. I really should have been bringing some of these Imperial Eye troops over to here. But then again, if I give away the Imperial Eye later, they might come after me. Yeah, we're really close. Oh, boy. Let's start building some infantry here, shall we? We were lucky that he did not have a bigger stack of spies. If this was later in the game, that would have been a 20 stack, and that would have cut me up. Kish is the best. Easily get twice as many traits as other homeworld. Exactly, Imperialis. I don't know if you hear when I was talking about how we meant for them the difficulty for each of the houses at the start to kind of be laid out the way you see. So you see, when you first look at it on your left, there's Li Halan, and it's supposed to be slightly easier than the others. People will argue with which ones are the easiest. Everyone agrees Amalek on the far right are the most difficult. That was on purpose. We expect most people to go left to right when they choose which houses they play, so they would slowly get a more difficult experience by doing it that way. Or, in multiplayer, that's one of the ways that you can make up for one player knowing the game better than others. All right, spy. Let's move you on over to the main continent, not over here. So we've got this stack of Imperial Eye troops. We could drop them next. I mean, they can't fight. Only spies can still attack on Byzantium Secundus until we've declared for Emperor. Imperialis. Kish is also one jump to Criticorum and also no competition to expand to the south. Yes, that's right. There's a number of reasons why we made the Li Halan to be a tiny bit easier than others. Not a huge amount. Anyway, we're not going to jump to Chernobog because we know that Hazat fleet is there. We're going to come back to this group. Can't jump to this force either. All right, so we've got this force. And it's got an elite cruiser. Note that's an SGJ cruiser. Thank you, Base Game Junkie for streaming at Emperor of the Fading Sun this morning. We've got an Hey, did you see this, Imperialis? That's right. In the last game, we modified the frigates to the Imperialis. So that's what we got out here. We consider that the exploration units, and you've been doing a great job exploring the game. So we named the frigates after Imperialis. I spell it right? That'd be embarrassing. I did spell it right. But the most important thing is we've got this carrier with a noble, not Shikao, because it's not my elite noble, but a noble, Shikao's sister, and the Rod of Holy Smiting, which makes this a really powerful stack for early game combat. We know that the, they've got a star base. They've got a star, that's why the fleet's hanging out there. We don't have enough strength to destroy a star base. That's why we can't go to Chernobog. There's a Hazat star base there. Yeah, we do not, I forgot about that. We do not have the strength to take a star base. Yeah, we need a couple more cruisers, a dreadnought, a bunch of Imperialis. Woo, says Imperialis. So, I hate to say it, but my neat plan to jump there, don't do it. There's a star base there. That's why I need to send myself for my next note. Hazat star base at Chernobog. Avoid, avoid. And here's Pyre that I hope to get to. In fact, I should be exploring more with these ships. That ship. Someday I want Pyre to be free. All right, well. Where do we want to shoot? We know that there's a PTS gun down around here. I think all these troops... Oh, that electronics is going to be a tough nut to crack. The church should be easy to take, though. So that's high on my list. Oh, the factory. I was going to shell the factory. That's right. Yep. An officer in electronics. That's a tough stack. All right. Get that cruiser. Sailing away. Shell the factory. Rod of Holy Smiting bonus. Bam! Dive bomber finally dead. Boom! SPA. Boom, boom. Oh, good damage. All right, pretty nice. Now, I think we're going to drop that carrier into the lab. We're not ready to attack the factory yet. Still building a bigger force here. We've got I don't know, we've got this strong force.
Unit spotted.
Oh boy, troops over there. I'm gonna steal this Hazat relic. Start moving that relic. On out. Got a strong force here. See, the trouble is, whatever cities my Imperial Eye units take belong to the Imperial Eye, not to me. They need to be engaging troops out in the open. And there aren't that many Hazat out in the open, except over here. Use these Saltlanders. Yeah, let's start doing that. Dropping some troops around. That's a good idea. So we think there's a PTS gun in there. So we can't just go... I don't know, maybe I'll send the Imperial Eye troops
Unit
to go
spotted.
take the farm.
Unit spotted.
Oh, they've got another transport. Holy cow. Wonder where they're moving their troops to. And where did that PTS gun go?
Unit spotted.
Oh, they're hiding the PTS gun in there. Yeah, that's a pretty good stack there. I hope they don't unload these troops, because I'm sure that's what they are. Oh man, there's a lot of food in here. Holy cow. Look at that. Oh my goodness, we've got to take this quick. We need that food. Feed me, Seymour. All right, well, we know what you units are doing. All right, so church, we got to go take the church. We can promise this planet to the Avestite, new Avestite patriarch. right, so we've got this relic that allows our folks to move more quickly. Got our armor mostly healed up. Let's move them out. I'm going to move them with the Militia Legion. It means I want to build another Militia Legion in the church. Militia, of course, is there to guard the noble. It's a big force in the chemical factory. Let's go ahead and move that into the lab. And that by itself is plenty. I hate the fact that they've got the artillery. But, yeah, let's drop some more troops down. I'm going to leave those guys there. We'll take the infantry along. I will bring down that carrier from space. I'm sorry, that relic is great, but that starbase will probably just knock it out of the air. We're going to unload here, send our noble and relic racing to here. All right, so that's a good group. Way overpowered on the against the church. All right, let's take the church. Oh, so little tiger, little scout tank. Did some damage to my own tanks. Wasn't expecting that. All right, and of course, in the church, we're now going, hey, we got a clergy. Cancel that religion change. So right now, it's Avestite. Well, we've liberated the sect. That's it. They would pretend Avestites before. Now we've liberated. Now that means I can't promise it to the church in exchange for votes. Oh well. Just build a militia. Make sure the Li Halan don't go after that again. So weird. Restream says I am streaming to Steam. But up on Steam, I see nothing. Oh wait, yes it is. Okay, now I just did hit refresh and it showed it. Very cool. Yay! If you're watching in Steam, thank you very much. Glad to have you be here. Still haven't figured out how to activate the chat in Steam. But yay, it's working. Hello. Hope you're enjoying the game. Hope you got in the game. Hope you have had fun with the game. All right, so it is showing in Steam. Let me hear how it sounds. Sorry, y'all. I'm excited. This is actually working. Actually working. Let's see here. Volume, volume, volume. Sounds good. Yay! It's working! Oh, Frabjus Day, Kalu Kalay, he chortled in his joy. Kalu Kaloy, he chortled in his joy. The Kalay to rhyme with day or Kaloy to rhyme with joy? Anyway, alright, so we got the sect. We've taken the church. We're going to sentry the selected unit. The clergy will be sentryed. Alright, so now we've got this nice stack here. We want to go after the electronics. I think that's a good idea. Let's do that. Let's bring all of you into the chemical plant. Now we'll bring down these troops from the fort. Too many units. Oh yeah, because there's this chemical thing in there. Let's combine these, save a little bit of space, shall we? All combined. Nice to be able to do that. And now we can bring down these 4 units. Bonk. That's a stack. And they will go ahead and take the electronics. Probably with ease. Yeah, we're still hitting some damage. Oh, of course, there's anti-tank guns in it. Several anti-tank guns. Alright, that's been some good combat. We're going to move folks who need healing, like those tanks, back into the hospital. Electronics will build militia. Build militia in the lab. That's where we took a militia out of, didn't we? All those troops there. Got a militia there to sentry. So, that was a nice sized force. A lot of troops have used up their movement. So we're going to move all these into the fort that we're using as a pallet to guard the vote sector. And nice. Nice. Really wish these factories are inland. I wish I really had a coastal one so I could build a transport. Yeah. Because Chernobog's going to be a problem for a little bit until I need to start focusing on spaceships. I think that's the next thing. I plan to keep going the psychosocial route, but I think Prince Shikao needs that dreadnoughts. Oh, and fighters for a carrier. Yeah, I got 2 carriers. Put fighters on those, then we're ready to take on a starport. Not starport, starbase. Starbase. All right, so all of you troops are going to sit. Where'd my other noble go? Didn't I drop that other noble? Oh, I guess Chikao is still on Midian. That's right. That is right. I only have 1 noble on Aragon. Okay. All right. So, carrier, should I take you back into space? Yeah, I don't want to lose you just in case they do come out of that factory. Move you up there. Move you into here and combine you with the other chemicals. Lots of chemicals. There's my vote scepters, not moving them anywhere. This good core fighting force will stay right here. The tanks will heal up in the hospital. Electronics will stay in the electronics factory. Fief, in the electronics fief. Okay, these 2 are the Imperial I units going down to take the farm. Those troops are going to sit there. All right, we can explore around with these. And that's really all I've got there. Oops, then I can probably take it with these. Nah. Let's try this. The Das Tactic. I don't know if you saw this, Imperialis. The officers are now called Das Tactics. So let's move a flat gun. Yes, all right, so we're going to take 2 of our assault landers. Shoot them up into space. We're going to drop them back down. Here. It looks like that's all that's there. Oh, a bunch in there, though. But this is enough to attack an anti-tank gun and artillery. Yep. Took a little damage, but took care of that. Now we put them back into an assault lander, take them back up into space where they'll be safe. So a little bit of hit and run there. All right, a little bit more running than hitting, but we did it. All right, all of these units will sit right here. I am blocked off by a big Staccato stack. I'll just sit here and keep watching what's going on here. Let's move around and see what's going on. Didn't learn anything. All right, back to our home planet of Kish, the planet that Imperialis spoke so highly of. Lots of good stuff on this planet. It's a little food rough, but I still need to build food out here. I've been avoiding some of the main places for food. I don't know why. I think that's what you need to go do. Yeah, I don't have food here. There's 2 great places for food that I haven't done anything about yet. Yep. So build a 24 food there. If I build that 24 food, I can build a 37 food. That's good. Yeah, 37 food. And then I can build food down here as well. All right, let's go. Go, go, go. Is that where I was seeing it? 24 food, yep. Oh, 20. Yeah, that looks good. You were building... Yep, you're building food, so let's do that. Orders, build city. We're hungry. Hungry, hungry Lihalan. Notice I didn't jump away from it. Still interesting, still unnerving to me. It's been the other way for a long, long time. Yeah, those of you who are in the theme chat, you're going to be getting a version of Emperor of the Fading Suns. We've been updating and updating and updating and all kinds of cool things. And you see, like, show what they were building in the city just when you looked around. All kinds of cool new features, plus a lot of cool modding tools. If you like game modding, the stream I did yesterday shows some very simple modding tools, ways you can change the game. We've been talking about some of the unit name changes that we made. So yeah, you on Steam, happy Turn-Based Thursday! Hope you have bought some cool games. I wish the chat was working on Steam, so I get you to tell me what the best games other than EFS that you'd bought on Steam during TBT were. Would love to know. I hate that I can't get the Steam chat working. We'll get it working sometime. All right, so we built that farm that we need. Gonna keep coming along, build some more roads. Oh yeah, coming down here to build that other location out. And time for an attack on the ruins. I know that we got ruins over here that we need to cleanse. So let's do that. Coming up to it. Oh my. I'm going to come back to that anti-tank killer. Yeah, now we can build ceram steel. That's what we did. We put these two engineers out just so they could build ceram steel right where I wanted it. Because we need ceram steel. We need a lot of ceram steel, which means we're going to need more chemicals too. Yep. Chemicals will be a necessity in this game. So let's go over here, build another ceram steel, maybe another chemicals. I don't know. We got a lot of chemicals right now, so let's go for ceram steel. We've got a veritable plethora of chemicals. Sounds like Ducados when you say it. We will need some more electronics. I don't know, maybe another lab. Let's do another lab. We got the money. Technology, go for that cyclotron. Have a militia just in case one of our own inquisitors comes poking around. It'd be amusing to have the inquisitors burning the Avestites. All right, let's come back to this artillery. Let's do another chemical plant. We got plenty of chemicals. Build ceram steel. Build ceram steel. Got to keep reminding myself. Build city. Ceram steel. See, 10 energy, 10 chemicals, 7 trace. Imperialis. I'm talking about the need for the trace. That's one of the reasons. One of many reasons. Got a lot of ceram steel. Defend that lab, please. At that chemical factory, please. Very cool seeing the stream on Steam. So I do appreciate you joining me there if you are a steamer. Yes, streamers on steamers. Let's see here. Message. Hold on. Orders. Build. Build city. Build another ceram steel, please. Yes, you do not have to unleash this in thieves. I do. Alright, let's see the stack we got here. We got the self-propelled artillery coming in. We got the direct fire anti-tank gun. Oh wait, we got 2 planes. Bring these 2 planes on over. Now we got a good force going into the ruins. Yep, that's a good force. All right, we're going to drop out the 2 tracker legions. Wait, we don't have any infantry if we drop out the tracker legions. Well, shoot. We need these 2 units taking part as well. Got to protect the noble. Yep, got to send everything in. That doesn't leave me a good force to come in afterwards. But, yeah, I didn't have... I should have been building infantry. I don't want enough infantry here to protect my noble. All right, here we go. So I don't have that many nobles left. Oh no! I don't have much side defense in this stack. This is gonna hurt. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Thank goodness for the planes. Planes are great versus vehicles. Oh my goodness. Look at my losses. Woohoo! So this is clearly the bane of the Avestite order. These are warlocks and dervishes, utter sinners. But in the books, you'll read about how psychics have been forced to do penance by the Inquisition and serve the Inquisition and hunt out other psychics. And that's exactly what we've done here. And we still have our trackers left. I thought I was going to lose them. So watch this. All right, tracker and a noble. Actually, it's just being a tracker. I usually like to have my nobles explore the ruins, but in this case, just going to be a tracker. 2 lost self-propelled anti-air weapons have pledged fealty to your noble house. The foot of St. Ignatius! Woot! And keep walking because we found them. They tried to hide in the mountains, but we hunted them down. And we have converted them. They are now part of Temple of Avesti. Well, they still haven't done the full conversion, I'm sure. Avestite, they have. They've done the full conversion. Woohoo! We converted them. An elite warlock and a veteran dervish. Now that's going to be a heck of a force to help me out. Well, well, well. Yeah, normally these are the bane of the Avestite order, but we have turned them to our way. That's funny. They're going to be a major part of my fights in the future. That is a big plus for Temple of Avesti and House Li Halan. All right. Everyone who can move, let's get you back in the mine. You got some troops that need some serious healing. That is a tank gun. How much health did it have left? 4% health. That unit almost completely destroyed. Well. That was pretty fascinating. Got these self-propelled artillery, the tracker legion. Move them all into the mine as well. The foot of St. Ignatius. Check that out. Helps cure a plague on a planet. You know it. There's a plague bomb on somewhere. We should move that planet. All right, so it's time to start getting spaceships coming back here. Pick up all this. I'm pretty sure that it was the last ruin on this planet. Pretty sure this is the last ruin. Ooh, pardon me. Last ruin on this planet we've just taken care of. Yeah, that foot's a helpful thing to have when you're looking into ruins. Like we got so many ruins on Midian to explore. All right, well, very cool. That was very nice. Not just the 2 anti-air units, which we will be needing. Remember how much air there is on Icon. And that relic to cure the plague, but also capturing the warlock and the dervish. That's pretty fancy. All right, here we are. So if you remember, we had looked into this little ruin here. And it looks like the Al-Malik got nervous about what came out of it. I don't remember what was in there. And they came up and took him out with a dive bomber. Clearly this was not where the plague bomb was, or else we'd all have it. But now we can go take another peek in that ruins. All right. Sentry U. Ah, that symbiote. Gotta wait for the House Hawkwood to take that symbiote out of there. Oh, we can keep exploring while we wait for them to come over here. Yep. All right, frigates will stay here. All right, these transports. I was going to move folks off of Midian because we're still hunting down those rebels there. But now we've got that big stack on Kish to move. So let's take this to Kish to pick up all those units. Bring them to Icon, I guess. All right. This is going to be a little dangerous because you can't go too close to that fort. I know there's rebels in there.
Spotted.
Yep. Walk around it. So here's that Blade Master Noble we want to capture with an officer. Yeah, there's going to be no capturing this guy. We'll try. But it's not going to happen. We'd like to. All right, you are sitting here just to defend against that Aegon. Now remember, we saw that there's a big stack. Where was the Arborium? They took an Arborium on this planet from me. Yeah, there it is. There's apparently folks out of that fort that went on down that way, so we need to come over here and find them. So, all right, so we got a big stack here with an engineer. Engineer's building a road so I can get out there and capture that battle master. There's another engineer around here somewhere to help build the road. We'll find them. Come down around here. No, they can't come get me here. Nope, nope. Tell my folks, just keep an eye on the Blade Master. This group will move out. This has to land, remember. See what that 0 means? Got to get back. It's got no more fuel. Running, got to be maintained. All of you will sit here for a minute. Entry the militia. Add this infantry into this. Oops, should have brought the anti-tank gun along with it. 2. Got artillery coming up. You are exploring. You are joining the stack. Give some more infantry protection. We got lots of infantry now. That's a well-protected noble. That's what we like to see. All right. I guess that's all that we can really explore up here. There's not that much up here. Explored all the way over here. Let's take you over here. There's that fighter. Now we have 2 fighters. We can go dogfight their atmosphere fighters. That's not a bad idea next turn. I don't want to dogfight their atmosphere fighters in the fort. That'll give them some extra defense. But dogfights with the atmosphere fighters, that's a lot of fun. You need to end every other turn in the landing somewhere for maintenance. All right, got a well here with a new militia unit. Got an engineer moving out to build a mine. All right, still got to keep these troops on Byzantium, though I can land them. Just explore around, see what's next to the Hazat. Let's do that. I could build up a big force of Imperial agents right here. Because they still have a bunch in the base over here. But that is dangerous if I happen to lose control of the Imperial I should, now that I've taken now that I've taken the Hazat vote scepters and I've got an alliance with the Ducados, I should be in good shape. I should be able to keep the regency from here on. Which means I'd only give up the Imperial if I wanted to. Right now, why would I want to? It is cool having them on the planet. See if any of their spies come after me. Let's put these 2 up into space. Spies. That way the spies will attack those folks first before coming after my fort. Yeah, that's a good idea. All right. Since we have the my cargo force coming, I should move actually I should have kept them in the spaceport. Oh well. You're just gonna have to sit here outside Pyre. I wonder if the House Hawkwood is. Whoops, that hurt. Wow! I'm amazed I survived that. That's where the palace is and shield on this planet. No, we're going to get the heck away. Oh my gosh. Rocket artillery. 3 PTS guns. A vote scepter. There's a vote scepter on Pyre. Wow. Now we have to come claim Pyre for a Temple of Avesti. That's an interesting turn of events. That's vote. I'm writing that one down. Vote scepter on fire. That is wow. That's a major find. Yep, we got to come to Pyre. Not right now. Not in the face of those. In fact, let's get the heck off this planet. That's not coming back down again. I want to risk another shot. I'm lucky to survive that one. Okay. I thought I had another engineer. Guess not. Maybe I built the starport with it. Do not end turn. You have some building to do on Kish. So, yeah. Let's get a bunch of more. Build engineer. Build engineer. Electronics. Build engineer. Fort. Build infantry. All right. And I think I want to also buy some more metal. Oops, Agora. Trade. All that metal, please. Thank you. Let's go to Aragon. What are we building here? Got a lot of good units coming up. Got some good stuff here now. Let's go ahead and build engineer. And sure, let's build another engineer. Okay. That's used up most of my resources. DJ's Outdoor Adventures. Would be likely that a scepter would be on the homeworld of another sect, one for each. This is a random galaxy, so it's not keyed that way. However, obviously, because it knew we were doing a Avestite game, we put one on Pyre. The game knows. I didn't feed it that way at all. It's just perfectly fitting in the story. So yeah, there's a very good reason why it's here. But no, we did not seed the game to put one on each of the sect planets. Those who don't know, we've got the each of the sects kind of has one planet. Well, the 5 major ones. Hesychats don't have their own planet. Incarnates don't really have their own planet in this game. But like Brother Battle has Demolay is the Brother Battle homeworld, Pyre for Temple of Vesti, Pentateuch for the Eschatonics. What's the Amathean world? Hold on. Let's find them. Why am I doing it this way? Do it this way. Much better way to see all of them. So Pentateuch for the Eschatonics. Elon. No, not Elon. Demolay, of course, for Brother Battle. We talked about Pyre. Artemis for the Amatheans. And, of course, the Orthodoxy on Holy Terror. All right. Built some stuff. So, go ahead and make sure we're making enough money. Making plenty of money. Let's pay our units some more. We don't want them to lose their humility. We do want them to be loyal. We might actually drop our tax a little bit. Yeah, let's drop the tax a little bit. Get a little more production out of it. Ducato's way up there. We're doing all right. End turn. One more turn.
House Lee Halan.
That was a fascinating sign. All right, Cyclotron, let's get you researched. Research and Cyclotron being completed. Monopoles! banana poles. Alright. I think we'll be good here. I'll wait for now, not build anything else. Now that I've got my Imperial Eye agents over there to be the first line defense. Yes, Artemis. Thank you, DJs. The Almathans. Thank you. Farm produce the Militia Legion. Oh my goodness, look how little food we have left. We might be buying a bunch of food soon. All those militia gotta eat. You're hungry, hungry militia. Yeah, we need a lot more farms, don't we? You know what? I forgot. There's a Zot Arboreum we need to take. Well, we're about to take a whole bunch of Zot food. So, that will be a good thing. We'll come back and decide we want to build in all these places later. Militia in the church, in the cathedral. All right, now we got a good stack for doing stuff on Aragon. I should probably do another infantry. These guys didn't heal up as much in the hospital as I wanted them to. Gunship, that'll be a big help. Atmosphere fighter, big help. Atmosphere fighter. Now I've got real air superiority. Not supremacy yet, but superiority. I think I will do a dogfight. Engineers on Midian now can build that road quickly. House Staccatos is too powerful, says Vlad. Oh my goodness. Where was that? Icon. They finally came after me up in my little place up there. I had an AA gun, but they pounded it out. Yeah, 2 dive bombers, an atmosphere fighter, and a strategic bomber. 1 little AA gun will not do it. Why, thank you, Alexius. All right, let's come back to you two. Got this wonderful fleet to come pick up all of these units. Get them off this planet. All right, so we definitely want this relic going with us. So let's put that on the bolt collar. Put a tracker in a bolt collar. Tornado in freighter, along with the self-propelled artillery. Tornado in the carrier. Tracker in a carrier. We got plenty of tornadoes. I do want a tracker. Okay. Artillery, anti-tank gunner in there. Tracker in there along with this other tornado. Alright, everything full. 1, 2. No. We have not filled up that bolt collar yet. So, we've only filled up these. Let's shoot them into space. Send them to Midian. Back here. You guys on in. You guys on in. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Yep. Let's go ahead and hide. I mean, let's transport the Warlock and the Dervish in the bolt collar. And on the carrier, we will put the other anti-tank gun and artillery. Yeah. That noble we're going to leave here. We did lose a noble earlier to a ruin. Big stack for me. Alright, that's a nice force there. Tempted to build them in the 21, just have it now, but I'm going to go up to the 24 next time. How bad is my eating situation? I'm eating 270 more. Wow, I do need to buy some food. Good thing nothing bad will happen if the League gets a lot of money, right? For those of you in the Steam chat who don't know, the Third Republic is a fear. Alright. Engineer coming along. I'm going to actually move you to the starport. Picked up in future turns or to build transports there. Middle. I need to move all these folks back to the starport. Wait future pickup. That's why you have these internal lines of transportation. Let these folks move around quickly. We don't have assault landers to do it for you. These folks to the starport. And of course, keep defending all these places. Yeah, so I moved this tank killer up. Didn't need it for the fight. Move it right back down. That's what we want to get in the next group moving around. See that. Noble moving the palace. Yep. Tank gun moving. It would be nice to sit and heal. Doesn't do us any good up there anymore. You are going to create road. Again, internal lines of transportation. You're coming down to see what's going on here. All that fog of war. Let's also send you over here. Sentry that spy. Moving that spy. Sentrying that infantry. I'm going to move these troops on around to, I think,
Unit spotted.
here.
Unit spotted.
And just sentry them. Because that way, anyone coming from the other places will hit them first. Give me time to defend my fort. All right. So, we finally get around these Ducados.
Unit spotted.
Oh, goodness. Thought they'd done the nobles.
Unit spotted.
Or the rebels. Thought they killed the rebels. Apparently not. Now, move around and hopefully get to that ruins. And you waltz on in. Knowledge of barren environment. The zealousness of your sect. Remember, we did the modding. We made them more zealous sect. We discovered another rune gift. The holy relic of Vanillogi's Mandala. Now we just got to get something over here to Istakar to take that away with us. Stack spot, but we got a spy with a stack bonus. Oh my gosh, what's his spot 17? Wow. Yeah, relic spot bonus +8. Why do you think the League were allowed to still have scepters after the fall of the Second Republic? So it's Vladimir, 500 years after the fall, who does it. And it is because the League has all the tech and is a powerful faction. And, I mean, Vladimir clearly does it for the good of humanity. He does it so that all the good, because it is a pseudo democracy, even though it's democracy creating an empire. But in point of fact, the League was very powerful. If the League had gone to war against the houses, it would have really torn humanity apart and left it in a horrible situation as the best. Those folks who really know how to keep arboreums going like die off. Famine, plague, everything was spread. So it was to ensure their fidelity to the noble order. Noble order being the feudal order. Does that answer your question, Caleb? All right, so we got a spy with a huge spot bonus. Now, whoops. Oh, can't merge. Right, that's done. Shoot. Oh well, we want to hide this somewhere now so that we can come get it with a spaceship, because that spot bonus is pretty handy. All right, let's drop on Pyre again, just not over here near the palace. Okay. Afraid of what's over here, so I don't want to drop there. All right, what over here? Oh wow, look at that. That's pretty freaky. Let's drop here first. Fort. Oh my gosh. Rocket artillery, hover tank, AA. Yeah, let's get the heck off this planet, shall we? All right. Was hoping that the Hawkwood would come deal with that symbiote, and they're not. Now I'm worried about House Hawkwood. They're leaving a symbiote, a known symbiote infestation that the League discovered for them on their planet. What's going on with the House Hawkwood? Problem. Okay. Carrier's going to come down. Get that Rod of Smiting. Actually, before I do that, let me use my Imperial Eye stack. Is this enough of course? No. Well, yeah. He's got the PTS gun. Got a lot of direct, load artillery. What makes this look so crowded is that transport. Nah, let's get these last 2 units on down here. Do that fight next turn. Maybe I should bring down those other units that I was moving around. I think I will. Okay, so time to take the factory. Might be. Where's my holy relic? Right. Alright. So. Rod of Smiting. I'm going to put you back in the lab. I'm going to again drop my carrier down. Drop it into that lab. Put the Rod of Smiting on the carrier. Take it into orbit. Go over to the cruiser here. Now cruiser is going to attack that factory. That's good. Yeah. Oh, nice. All right. And it's still a powerful force. You got 3 AA guns. You've got 5 anti-tank guns, 4 artillery. I mean, that's not an easy force. But the Rod of Smiting drops back down, gets unloaded. And with that artillery, walks on into the palace. Okay, so let's collect our stack here, shall we? You are not going. You're not going. You guys are going to do that. Now all the rest of these will move into the palace, minus the tracker. Okay. Come back to you. You've got no air left. We don't not need that AA anymore. Except to soak up some damage. Come back to that AA. Still have space for 2 more units in here. There they go. That's what I need. My damaged armor. I'm going to hate losing them. They are going to die in this attack. Against that many anti-tank guns, my armored fist here. Wait a minute. I've got air over here. Burn up that air right now in this fight. That's my gunship will not survive all that AA. Yeah, I'm better to have the armor than the air in this fight. Even though I'm going to lose both of those armor, these tanks have been with me since the beginning. They're elite Wolfen, but they're not going to survive. They're damaged. But they will ensure my success in this last major battle against the... I mean, there's more battles against the Hazat still to come, but this is the big one. That's their big stack still around. Wait. We don't want all these holy relics going in. We don't need the speed relic in there. Yeah, let's get the St. Paulus's Teleria out of there. Move that into the fort, and then we've got room for gunship.
Unit spotted. Unit spotted.
See, there's that Arboreum we want. All right. We're going to lose the gunship. We're going to lose the 2 armored units. We just want to make sure the noble survives. We can get rid of that factory. This is their Stalingrad factory. Hey, Mackie. Glad you're here. Sorry you had to go. See you Tuesday. And I'll be streaming again Sunday as well. For all of you in Steam, sorry we're not getting a chat like I'd like, but hey, I'm glad you're all sticking around. Been a good core group there watching the stream. All right, here we go. Into the factory. Big stack, gonna take some damage, gonna be pretty devastating. Thank goodness for my Rod of Smiting. Makes a huge difference. Yeah, look at that gunship and armor taking immediate hits, but also my militia and not my noble. That's what I want to see happen. There goes one of the armored units. We knew that was happening. Gunship, we knew they were getting shot up too. I might be able to save that one other armored unit thing. Nope. Ah. Oh well, I called it. We knew that was going to happen. But now we have 3 factories, and that is good. And you know we're going to build in them? Gunships and armor. Build. Gunship. Build. Medium tank. Build. Medium tank. That's hilarious. Pretty much as we called it, I'm sorry to say. All right, so we've got this Griffin.
Unit spotted.
Oh boy. 2 dive bombers in there. Yeah, we're gonna need some AA now.
Unit spotted. Unit spotted.
That's not too bad. We'll take that pretty soon. All right, let's go land. Centering all these troops. Leaving these troops in there. Uh-huh. Yeah, that's what I needed. This is my side defense. If I'd had that against all those dervishes and warlocks, it would have been nice. Frigate's not going anywhere. Yeah. Let's go do some more exploring, shall we? Fief there. There's a fief there. There's a road to there. Stuff up here as well. Lots of things happening. So let's see what happens when I go down here. Farm. I'm gonna mine. I've got to go take this area. Not heavily defended. Look again at. I see another stuff right there. Oh, wait, down here. That's right. Oh, we did want to unload. Y'all are sitting here. Vulnerable. Don't stay on the ship when that happens. You got armor in there. I mean, there's a factory somewhere here. They must have brought it over by boat. All those transports transporting armor, probably. All right. Good 44. Oh, 49. 52 metal. Holy cow. Get that 52. Aha, they're coming after me. Shoot. Taking the way I didn't want them. I wanted to go after these guys, not this one. Shoot. Let's see if I can get him on away from them. Bring you around, keep an eye on. There's that engineer. I mean, that's there's a blade master and an officer, and I got this stack. That's a bit of overkill at this point. Oh, that's right, because they've got that other really good group down at the Arboreum we got to get to. That's why we need this big stack. That's right. All right, now we have 3, count them, 3 atmosphere fighters. I think we're going to try this. Let's see if we can do a dog fight. Shall we? Ooh, they got 2 in there. We got 3 attacking. They're going to have a defense bonus. Even though it's air, because, I mean, obviously they have their own spotters and the like. I will be at a disadvantage, but let's see what happens. Yeah, they're tearing me up. Holy cow. I bet they were experienced too, weren't they? They tore me up. Oh, one was elite. They tore me up. That was a waste of atmosphere fighters. Oh well. Oh well. Continuing moving up. Let's see, got the church, got the palace, got the starport. Can't do shield generator yet, so just move this one up to help out with the others. Maybe I should be doing the farms. Okay, I'm gonna get this tiger lily. I'm back with my main stuff. It doesn't do me any good up here. This is not a good planet for a scout tank. Go over Byzantium. Alright. This whole group. Yeah, I want to get that Arboreum next, so. Move you up to there. Get that relic in with him. We move quickly next turn. And you will just sit in that fort. A gun, move them into the palace. Okay, not at the end of the turn yet. We do want to build some things. So what are we building on Aragon? Building much down here. We got a good stack. In fact, we might split into 2 stacks. Take the Arboreum in the mine quickly. I'm building a bunch of engineers. That's what I need. Build an engineer here too. Oh yeah, I need that food. Whoa, they got all kinds of food. Let's do that. Put food in the palace. Let's have a celebratory banquet. No, wait, we don't celebrate like that, but we should have a festival. We'll burn the food. That's what we'll do. Classic Avestite way. All right, want to build 2 more engineers. Let's see what we have happening on Midian. Midian, oh Midian. We might want to build more atmosphere fighters. We wasted what we had before, but there's a bunch of planes. No, that's an icon. There are a bunch of planes. That's right. We'll still build an atmosphere fighter here. Let's go to icon. Ah, we lost that. They took our mine away. Oh well, it was mine. Now it's their mine. I'll have to come back and get it. All right, let's go back to Kish and build a whole bunch more. Build a couple more engineers on Kish, shall we? Build one here. Let's build one here. All right, fun stuff. Fun stuff. I hope you all enjoyed my conversation about Temple of Avestites and the religion. Appreciate everyone on Steam joining us. I will stream again Sunday, 3 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, 3 EDT. As our final celebration for Turn-Based Thursday. I'm going to write myself a message. Send message to myself. Rebel Arboreum on Midian, Asat Starbase over, what planet is that? Chernobog. Oh yeah. Vote Scepter on fire. Oh yeah, and we have new concerns. Concerns about Hawkwood. About Hawkwood. Oh yeah, symbiotes. Hawkwood symbiote taint. All right, I think that's a good message. Was my mind, but now they're mine. Say that 5 times fast. I'm not that out of my mind. I'd be out of my mind to say, was my mind, but now that I can't even do it once. All right, I'm gonna send that to
Message
ourselves.
sent.
Good stuff. I think we got a lot of good. We gotta get that food taken care of. I think we're good on most of our other resources. Might be time to start building more electronics. In fact, got the ceram steel starting to come in. Need those monopoles. Need more gems. I don't remember where the gems are in Aragon. Have you seen those yet? Should be some gems. Oh, right there. That's where we need that mine. Nice. Ask and ye shall receive. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining, both on Steam and on YouTube. That was a lot of fun. Again, looking forward to the next one. So thank you all very much. Have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you on the weekend. Cheers.